So currently I'm starting with introduction to Jinja 2. So basically, you can say Jinja 2 is a um, feature, like it is a templating language which is used to render your like not only Flask but any other Python frameworks. So this is a kind of structure of Jinja 2, such that Jinja 2 is basically a templating engine that allows your website to work dynamically. For example, if I want to load my 100 images, so basically a person who has a static website will write the code for that 100 images separately. So if a code is of 2 lines, it will take 200 lines of code to just display 100 images. But with the help of Jinja 2, you can just I can say use the the dynamic way that using just 2 lines of code you can display 100 images. So Jinja 2 will use a for loop which will loop through your 100 images in just 2 lines of code. So basically it will help to reduce your code. So the essentials that are needed for Jinja 2 are a template, basically the HTML template, and the data that is required. Then it passes through Jinja engine, and that Jinja engine will automatically render both the things together, and it will display in your final document. Final document is nothing but the final HTML file which is displayed. So now I will show you an example how Jinja 2 works in a Flask app. So I will just close this server. This was my static server. Now I am going to my new server. So yeah. So you can see I started my server. Now here my debug mode is off. So I just wanted to show that if I keep my debug mode if my debug mode is on, it displays it is on or off. So you can just start your debug mode writing a code in your app.py, or using terminal also. In future you can use the debug mode. So now I will go to my 127.0.0.1 colon 5000. So yeah. Mm, okay, I don't know why it is taking so much time to load. I'll just okay, request game. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, this is an example which we are going to show you today. So you can see that this is basically a long list. If a normal person who wants to write this list, he will be using HTML, unordered list or ordered list, and the code will become huge and huge. If there are 1,000 2,000 names, it will become it will become a huge document. So how we are handling this list using our keeping our HTML document too small. So I will just show you that. Along with that, I will show you that how do you maintain your header and footer for for example, if you have a header and footer. For example, this is my header and this is my footer. So this is my footer. So basically, if I want my header and footer will be same in all parts of my file. So basically, I don't want to write the same code again and again. So with the help of Jinja, what I do is I just write this code in one file, and I will just add a single line of code which will help me to automatically display the header and footer in all the web pages wherever I use those links. So you can see one more feature is when I click here, it will give me a pop-up. So all this is done using Jinja. So I'll just explain you one by one. Initially, it is a pop-up. Then we are using for loops, and then we are using the header or footer, which we can like display within one line of code. So when I go to, so yeah, I'll just zoom it. So here you can see this is my app.py file. Here I am returning my index.html. In that, my name is for my name user. I'm returning a string called synergy. Next, I'm returning a string called hey there, I like these colors. So if you had noticed, this was this is the this string, hey I like these colors. So this string is also returned from my app.py and it is not in my index.html. So if you want to do any changes, you need not need to go to my index.html and find my line. You just like and do changes. Instead of that, you just have a one place where you have all your content and then you can do the changes automatically. And again, I'm returning a list of names. So here we have created a list of names, but if you have a specific file or txt file or csv file, you can just these are basically Python functions. So using these Python functions, you can retrieve all those names, and then you can return these to your HTML file. So this is my index.html. So one by one, I will explain you each part of code. So initially, this is my JavaScript code, which I have used by handling my static URLs. Then, uh, before going to that, initially I will explain you how I have managed my header and footer. So this is one line, extends base.html. So my base.html contains my header and footer. So initially, in the start of my body, I add this template extends base.html. So basically, if you know something, if I extend my first part to other part, so basically you are connecting those two parts. So I'm extending this file to my base.html. Then this is my block content. Like I'm creating a block which has all of my contents, and I am ending my block. So basically, from where I start to where I end, my this whole part of code will get embedded between my header and footer. So when I go to my base.html, you can see this is my base.html, but here it is my block content and end block. So instead of uh, uh, 10 to 20, so these are my 10 lines of code, but instead of these 10 lines of code, this one line of code maintains all those complete 10 lines. So basically I am reducing my HTML files. Now if I create one more HTML file and I add this block content and I start with block content and end block, if that file is of 200 lines or 300 lines, so then um, all those 200 300 lines will get managed with this one line of code. So for headers and footers, this is very important and you should practice that. Next is I am rendering my string. So if you remember, this was my string, hey there I like these colors. So I'm rendering my string. So basically, to render any string in using Jinja, it is two curly braces, your name of the string basically, and you end with two curly braces. So it will render my complete string. Then now I am using for loop for my Jinja. So basically, for loop also works same as Python, but you have to just add one more line of code. That is, you have to end your for loop. So basically, I start with to use any for loop or if else or anything just like block content and everything. We write with our percentage mark. Then for n in my list. So my list is the name of my list which contains all the name of the people, and n is my variable. So here I'm then again writing my variable name and I'm ending my for loop. So it is important to Jinja wherever you use for loop, or in future if you use if and else. We have explained if and else in our document also, and we have also provided links so you can understand it much more better way. So to use all these, we should always have a start, but more importantly we should always have a end. So you can see it is end for or end block. So basically this Jinja helps you to manage your content dy- dynamically. So I hope you understand the, the importance of Jinja, and you can use Jinja effectively in your any app. Like even if you're learning Django, it is important. You are learning Flask, it is important. So yeah, I complete my Jinja introduction.